Hello, hello everyone! Welcome back to the English version of Dewan Pundit Indonesia with me, Conchita Caroline, as your host for today's episode. As always, we're here to bring you guys the latest and the most exciting news from the world of football. And here with me at the studio is your favorite football pundits, familiar faces, all the way from Newcastle. We have Firzi Idris, the legend of Jaksel Adiani, and of course, the Prince of Saudi Arabia. We have Ali.
أهلا وسهلا يا حبيبي.
Assalamualaikum Habibi.
Waalaikumsalam.
How are you guys?
Aina Salim Al-Sari.
All good. I don't know about
Having
him.
a good day so far?
I don't know
Not
about him.
him?
No,
Yeah, the West Ham game.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's tough.
goodness, yeah.
Yeah. As always,
It happens.
As always, up and down in football.
Yeah.
So before we kick off today's discussion, you know it, Jebret Media team, we always love hearing from you guys. So let's take a second to read some of the comments that you guys have written to us on our last episode. A bit of context though. So Aldi and Adi had quite a bit of a heated discussion at the end of the second segment. It was about a certain player who may or may not have been performing well for his team.
Important players. Very important
So
players.
obviously the comment section got very interesting. It got divided. Let's just jump into the first one. It's from TJ853. Adiani, can you read this one please? Because apparently he's agreeing with you.
I am on Adiani's side. Dallo is not good enough at Man United, especially as a wingback on Amorim's 3-4-3. The wingback should stay wide for attack or defend. We know Dallo not good at defense and crossing, but I know Dallo can leave quickly because a lack of good wingback in the market. I hope I am wrong, and
You're wrong.
Can make a much improved performance at
Look at
Manchester.
the
Okay.
nickname. Look at the name. TJ953.
So 1 point for Adiani.
Correlation.
Yeah, 1 point for Adiani.
Yeah.
He's agreeing with Adiani. But wait, we have another comment.
Okay.
Still about the discussion. This one is from Muhammad Ilham Taufik.
This good name.
474.
What?
Aldi, you're not serious about Dallo, right? So
2-0,
he's
man.
also agreeing with Adiani.
You're not serious
Anything
about
to
that,
say?
right? Come on. I'm that serious about that.
Anything serious to say or
He stands his ground.
Yeah.
He stands
Sure,
his
time will
ground, yeah.
tell.
time will tell?
Yeah, the first game wasn't good enough.
Okay.
Second game, it could be worse.
Okay, and we have a third one, and this one is for Toy Fi. Okay, even though Amorim, inclusive, one of the best coach in Europe, I'm still worried of him to maintain Manchester players. Because as far as I know, the mental and physical really bring down after bad results under Ten Hag. Addition, the way of Amorim in training ground, very extreme, very frontal. But as a fan of Manchester United, always we want to get the superb result. We want to get a new spirit in order to compete with the big team in EPL. Impossible is nothing, but everything is possible. Come on, Manchester United.
That's the spirit. That's
Now
the
that's
spirit.
the spirit. Now
Yeah.
I'm curious. Adiani, do you have
Yep.
anything to say regarding that comment?
That's the spirit of Christmas. Very positive. Looking forward to matches against Bodo Glimt and Everton in the Premier League at the weekend. It's going to be tough. Two matches that I think Ali has an opinion on that Bodo Glimt match. It's a must-win, and they have to win. And according to him, they will win. But it's not going to be that easy. Performing with the new system, the players not showing that much of, I don't know. I don't think they are able to perform as what like the manager wants. And that is the problem, the disconnect right now. In training, a lot of new positive stuff is being done. A lot of, I think, situations created by Amorim in terms of transition, because they were very bad against Ipswich Town, and I thought they will struggle, and they did. They only played well for like 15, 20 minutes, and after that, it's the same old for Manchester United. So we have to see. It takes time, but I don't think time is with Amorim. The pressure is there as a Manchester United manager, and they have to win the game in Europe.
Let's put a pin on that discussion, because now it's time for us to turn our attention to the other Manchester. The other Manchester, none other than Manchester City, a team that has set the standard for modern football under the name of Pep Guardiola, but sadly has now found themselves in unfamiliar territory. A 5-game winless streak across all competitions. Ouch. 4 defeats, 1 draw with key players like Rodri sidelined due to injury. Questions are starting to come up about Pep Guardiola's ability to adapt. Is this something that would be just a temporary setback for the Blues, or the opponents are just starting to figure out the Guardiola formula? What do you think, Adiani?
For me, I think it's now it's turning into a bit of a mini crisis for Pep and Man City. The way they implode, self-destruct against Feyenoord, very, very worrying. Mentally, I think they're not in the right state right now. Losing leaders is difficult for a team, such with Man City losing the likes of Ruben Dias, Rodri, that key component in the midfield, key component in the backline for Man City, and then you have Kevin De Bruyne not fully fit. So the leaders in the side, the ones that I think in certain situation will pop up with performances that is needed to take Man City over that finish line. The mistakes are I think we haven't seen this mistake in quite some time for Man City. Guardiola last couple of games, a quality defender, but mentally I think he can't handle that pressure, and this is going to be very interesting in the next match because it's Liverpool. But I think they will push through from this hard moment in the season. They can go on a run. They can go on a 10 to 12 matches undefeated, and they will change the dynamics of the Premier League. But I think this is a tough situation, and Pep looks frustrated. He looks out of sorts. So this is a bit.
And it's really sad to see him with all the scratches on his face.
All the scratches,
during the interview.
panicking. I think he is worrying because the side is not performing to the standards of Pep, and I think for Pep, he can't change the way he plays. The team plays very offensive, attacking with a lot of running needed, and right now it's struggling to find that balance and struggling to manage games as well as he did the past 2-3 seasons.
Do you think it's a sign of fatigue in Guardiola's system after years of dominance?
No, I think it's a lot. It's a combination of a lot of factors. Injuries being the main focus of it, but also the squad, the composition of the squad. Because as Adi said, they're lacking in vocal leaders. I mean, Gael Clichy said in the after match review in British TV that they lack that leader at the back. They lack that vocal presence like they had when Company was there. When Rodri was there, of course, Ruben Dias not there is also a big factor on this. But control, we used to say that control is part of Guardiola's measure in the way he won matches. I mean, rarely do we see like a Guardiola team like losing a 1-goal lead, let alone this 3 goals in the last 15 minutes. They become the first team in Champions League history to lose a 3-goal lead inside the last 15 minutes. So that's a lot of things going wrong for them. I mean, they are now, I think they conceded like 17 goals in the last 6 matches. It has never
he acts
again.
Surprised, but
But he knows it.
There?
He obviously keeps track of everything. Just to mock him.
And because like it's 3-0, they're coasting, they're absolutely have to be scot-free.
That is strange, right? In that game, it's not like Feyenoord is challenging. They have chances. No, they were out of the game, and out of the blue. One
that
chance,
mistake.
a mistake.
That mistake, that great finish. Also, we also shouldn't take away from the finish for the 3 goals. It was a great take on all of them. Very composed header also for the 3rd goal. But with Feyenoord coming in, we almost all in the British media saw like this is the rebound match. This is like where Guardiola fixed things up. This is where they found their mojo back. This is where they get back to winning ways. And for like 60, 70 minutes, it was there. It's there. But to get it over the line, mentality issues. Nathan Ake said, they have to be strong mentally. Apparently, they do not do that. At 3-1, they should make sure that the game is shut, but they didn't do that also. A lot of things happening, and they're in a right old pickle in the Champions League because their next 3 games, Juventus away, PSG away, Club Brugge at home. They're now, I think, ranked 15 in the Champions League. They
15?
need to win their last 3 games just to ensure they're on the top 8
Yeah.
to avoid that playoff and more fixtures congestion. Yeah.
Yeah, and seeing these fixtures, I mean, it's not going to be easy for them. Definitely.
I think it is.
They
I
have
think it's going to be
Liverpool,
easy.
Juventus
I'm
still.
not, I'm not agreeing with you, Conchita,
Oh,
on this
okay.
point, because in that 6 games, all competition, the only challenge is, I think, Liverpool. And
Okay.
if they can avoid defeat in that one, I think they will go on a run.
Okay.
They have Forest, they have Crystal Palace, Juventus in Europe, winnable. United, they'll destroy. And Aston Villa is interesting because they're out of form right now. So I think the next
This should be manageable for
6
them.
should be manageable. They should go on a winning streak. But
Okay.
that Liverpool game is going to be key. If they lose that one, I think they're going to slide again. But if they can avoid defeat, and I think it'll be rosy again for Pep and Man City.
Okay, let's go to Aldi then. Do you agree with that statement, or do you think it's going to be a bit of a rocky road for Manchester City?
It's not the first time City happened like this before.
Okay.
Yes, every season they always facing something like this, bumpy road during the season. But eventually they manage to back on track and doing what City always do, which is being champions. So and I believe, yes, this is 6 game or 5 games winless streak is not acceptable for a team like a Manchester City, especially the games against Feyenoord yesterday. You like Firzi said, until 75 minutes, you managed to we win 3-0, and then we did substitution, and then after that they crumble. Yes, you concede 1 goal, 3-1. Players that win Champions League, experienced player, won a Premier League multiple times, shouldn't be panic at the moment. 3-1, okay, that's it. We cannot concede another panic stuff. We cannot concede another human error, personal human error, like what Guardiola did. And then through 3-2, they should when 3-3. Okay, we have to. Okay, we calm down. We need to refocus. We need to regroup. But that's why I'm not understand what happened with Man City last night. They won everything in every area. They managed to control the game, but single mistake from players that Feyenoord is not a bad team. It's not a great team also, but they in Dutch they known like the team that has a character.
Yes, true.
They in Dutch league they want to just play good football, good position football, play good football. But with just like a game against Man City last night, which they did, they not control the game. But when they have every single chance, they clinch it. They buried him. They buried every single mistake that Man City conceded. And a 3-3 in 89 minutes is a big no-no to a team like Man City, especially now they're 15 on the Champions League table. It's not acceptable. But still, for me, it's just a hiccup. For me, a team like Man City, because if the excuse is injured player,
yeah.
in the back 3, Guardiola, Ake, Akanji is a super experienced player. In the midfield, Gundogan, Luis. Yes, Gundogan is a very experienced player also, but now he's not young anymore. He deputized Rico Lewis on a double pivot, and the front with the 4 player in the attacking area, and especially with Haaland. This is a team that should intimidate every single opponent they face.
Yeah.
But they failed to do that in the last 6 games. So I'm not understand. I cannot elaborate what happened with City in the last 5 or 6 games, because if Rodri is the reason, the absence of Rodri, yes, Gundogan can fill the space.
Yeah.
So it's going to be hard for City to regroup, to back on track. But I believe Guardiola and his team is going to be back on track.
Okay, so Adi said something about Liverpool. The match against Liverpool is the key for them to bounce back, the key for them to get back on track. But what exactly does Pep need to make the team get back on track?
They need to have a deep conversation because everything it has been brilliant for the past couple of seasons, winning trophies, destroying teams, taking care of teams, sometimes winning ugly as well. Now they can't win ugly, they can't dominate, and they can't close out games. So I think the problem is not just on the pitch. It's not just lack of leadership. It's just something that's bothering the team mentally and physically as well, and the outside interference of the charges 115 to 130 is on the player's mind, and then there's the limbo of waiting for Hugo Viana from Tiki. Tiki is the centerpiece of this team, trying to building
the club,
the connection with Pep and the owners, and if he's gone, Pep is in a bit of a panic as well. It shows. The body language is not Pep very confident enough in that locker room as well, and on the sidelines you can see he's not coming up with the ideas again and trying to rebuild the team and the age profile. And I think this is because of the limbo of waiting Hugo Viana to come in. They didn't do as well in the window. I don't know whether they're restricted because of the charges as well, so they can't move in trying to find younger players from other teams. And now they're talking about something that I would consider as a panic buy in January, and trying to get Zubimendi and trying to get maybe Morita or a few bodies there and try to cover up for the problems, the shortage of players because of injury. And who would have thought that if you lose Rodri, and not long after that you lose a player like Kovacic? For City, it's damaging. It's not even on the same bar if you talk about the quality of Rico Lewis. He's a young player, and he can't put himself in that situation, pressure situation, and trying to perform well. Gundogan is, I think, one of the mishaps of the window in trying to sign him back, which I think he's a different player now, not the one that we know in his last season before the comeback to City, where he gave everything on the pitch, and I think that was all that he can do. And now underperformances for Bernardo Silva, who can play in multiple positions but underperforming, and players like Akanji, Stones injured. So Pep always finds the solution in trying to make defenders more aggressive going into midfield. Rico Lewis, 3 positions he can play, but when a player such as Rodri is missing, you don't have that comfort in knowing that beside you there's a quality player that can cover. The cover by Rodri in terms of going the distance in that back line, it's very crucial.
Yeah, I think a lot of the names, the big names are there, like Akanji, Ake, and everything. Foden, Grealish, even they're back from the injuries. But I think they're a shell of their former selves. I think more so even when you compare to last season, because the Phil Foden of last season is not the Phil Foden of this season. Even Grealish, the way he plays, I mean, he made a few great performances for England, especially against Ireland, the first game. But then he come back to City, he cannot replicate the way he plays there. I don't know if Akanji and Ake, they are being accelerated back from their respective injuries, so they're playing not as best as they could. With Walker aging also, 34, he's got he used to burn people for pace, but now he got burned himself with the contract situation and everything, with Begiristain leaving also, and with Hugo Viana coming in. There will be a lot of changes, but every team in the Premier League, I think all the top 6, they've experienced this injury crisis. Liverpool last season, Man United last season. Now it's City's turn, and they're struggling for it. The best result, maybe they just need time for all the players to come back in, like get the mindset on, and whatever January can bring, they need it, because the way that Pep he's thinning his squad in the last 3 previous windows, but getting players in like Nunes not really contributing much offensively and everything. Even Bernardo he's like maybe the most consistent performer in this team, but he's not performing at a level that was one. So maybe except from Holland, everyone else is in a big pickle right now.
Dr. Adi and Dr. Firzi already walk you through
everything.
Psychologically and mindset.
You should lay on the couch.
Yes. Now let me walk you through.
Dr.
Adi and Dr. Firzi. Yes, but let me walk you through the tactic.
Okay, tactical wise.
Tactical wise.
What should they do?
Let me let's back to 2022
Okay.
when when City facing Madrid, when player like Akanji, he mark very high until Carvajal position. Akanji, left defender, mark until Carvajal, and on the right side, Bernardo Silva mark until very byline. So they play high risk, high return game. So I agree with Adiani said confidence from the players.
Yeah.
The confidence they really confidence to play high risk, high return game. Play high defensive line, press until the byline. That's what City want to play. They mark, they play high, they play compact. So the passing is very very short. That's what Pep Guardiola want. Play the short passes when they lose the passes, they need short time to regroup and reclaim the ball.
Yeah.
Now the gap between the line is very 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 big, and they don't confidence to mark until the very high. So yes, what Fizi said, player like Grealish is a very good player, but he don't mark any defender.
Yeah.
He don't press until the last defender, including the Bernardo Silva. Yes, it's degrading the quality of Bernardo Silva. We saw it, we witnessed it. That's something different in tactic that Guardiola need to remind the player. Come on, we play this very good play, very good play 2 years ago, maybe in early stage of the season. This season, the lack of Rodri in the number 6 position, yes, is a massive loss for Man City. But now with Gundogan, even not at the par with Rodri, but still is a player that can retract to the very very last part of defender. Because even when Kovacic play as a number 6 in the games like against Wolverhampton, against Nottingham Forest, against Chelsea, especially against Tottenham last week, the lack of concentration when the transition between offensive to defending, because City is very very facing a hard time to maintain the very good runner, because when players, especially with the good run, good pace coming to the side, there's not a player that retract like Rodri did, like Rodri does. Kovacic, Gundogan, especially Luis, is still far from midfield to retract to the defender. So that's the gap in the midfield and the defender. That's the gap that opponents now they already know they can utilize to hurt Man City defenders. So yes, they hurt in the psychological aspect. In tactical too, Pep Guardiola now having different approach, especially in defending.
And somehow it's not working quite well.
A lot, yes.
The problem against Feyenoord, Paixão, movements that he made in behind, and then the goal situation where
that highline, right?
The highline, he exploited that, and the switch was very intelligent, and Hansko was so easy for him to score the goal. And I think for the next match, I think Pep needs to drop Ederson.
Last question, and short answer only. With Liverpool's recent form, do you think it's going to be an easy win for the Reds, or there's still chance for Manchester City?
I think City will
City
do
will
something.
win.
Yeah.
In
Aldi?
Anfield, this is in Anfield.
Yeah,
right?
at Anfield, yeah.
Aldi?
It's going to be a massive game. It's not easy to predict.
Short
like
answer
this.
only. Short answer only. Yes or no?
I want to
Short
City
answer
win.
only.
I want City to win, especially for us.
But the jersey doesn't make sense.
But
The jersey does not make sense.
win, but it's going to be Anfield
But-
game,
but-
Liverpool game.
Man
Okay,
City
Mas Firzi?
only won twice from 27 matches in Anfield since the Premier League began in 92-93. The last time Man City won at Anfield is in the pandemic season where there's no crowd there.
Behind closed
The
door.
Alisson blunder game. So I don't know. Maybe that's a good.
Realistically
Speaking, I think Liverpool is more diunggulkan, but we don't. Anjar. It's a favorite. Liverpool is a favorite, of course. I don't know if Adi sees that Man City can bring a surprise. Maybe they
This
can.
is the time, Firzi, because you have the champions under pressure, almost at 10 count now, towards the knockout. I think Pep has something up his sleeve. As a boxer, he's hurt now, and I think this is the time to respond. And what better way than to maybe get a point?
The wounded tiger
against Liverpool. Yeah, the wounded tiger.
So we'll see scratch in Arne Slot.
Right, so what do you guys think, Jebret Media team? Do you think it's going to be an easy win for Liverpool, or is it for Manchester City, just like Adi said? Please write your comments on the comment section below, and we're going to talk about Liverpool in the next segment. Stay tuned with us only on DPI English.